Meoways.
It's a time to say goodbye. I mean, my God. That went on longer than any Vikings montage that Brandon's ever put together.
Well, there was plenty to.
God!
There was plenty to document.
Kevin Harlan's a little wordy.
Here's the thing. I mean, and Common likes to point others out, like being Rubes and your purple dinosaur and blah blah blah.
Barney the purple.
You are the biggest fraud of all because
so?
You are. Well, just admit you're a huge fan. You are a fan. There's nothing wrong with that. I would be too. But you wear your colors, just like PA wears his colors. The rest of us, whatever team we're rooting for, in air quotes, there's no mistaking the fact that you are a fan. And that's great. I applaud that. I will tell you, the line, 100%. I mean, they will put on a show last night. And it's not about the fourth down plays. It's not about how about that fourth down play? There was holding on the play, too, because it was the pass you talk about? No, defensive holding.
Oh, yeah. Right.
I'm saying it was, but what I'm saying is Detroit just destroyed Baltimore up front. 98-yard, 96-yard drives. They rushed for 225 yards or something. That's just beating up a team. It's not about trickery. It's not about a fourth down gadget play. It's about lining up and smashing them in the mouth. And I don't know what's going on with the Ravens, but I know they've lost to two really good teams, Buffalo and Detroit. Yeah. But their defense, that's atrocious. I know they're missing their best player defensively last night, but that's not an excuse. They've gotten steamrolled they've given up a lot of points for a team that's priding themselves on potentially being a Super Bowl contending team. They better fix that defense. They're not going anywhere with that defense. But kudos to the Lions.
You're trying to take away from the Lions.
No, not at all. I said I texted you. I texted you. That was an elite drive. That was smash mouth football. That's what it was. That's why I liked. I mean, that's the purest form of the NFL. Where, throwing the ball downfield is everything. The Lions just ran the ball down their throats.
Well, 2 weeks ago, you said the Super Bowl window had been slammed shut.
Well, I was wrong.
Tennessee, he just said he was wrong.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
A first in the history of the comment program.
That's not true. I've admitted I've been wrong before.
No, I don't think you ever have.
I was well, there's a long ways to go. But no, Detroit, it just proves they don't, I guess they don't need Ben Johnson.
And what did I tell people?
Yeah, but their offensive line, which was supposed to be reborn,
their two young guards are a lot better than people thought they were.
Well, they certainly were last night, and that's a sign that and they also sacked Lamar, who gets real careless,
7 times.
And Derrick Henry fumbles as he always does at the most crucial time. It happened again. Happened in the Buffalo game. As powerful as he is, he makes mistakes. So that was a very entertaining game. It really was, and it was fun to watch. And I didn't mind that Detroit won. It was like, hey,
you don't?
No. It's 3 games into the season. I mean, it's not.
The best part was on spread swing. You said this is too easy.
I know.
You took all 3. You said it was just
what was too easy is Seattle. I took them and they destroyed their opponent. So I'm still in really good shape. So there's the one that I picked Baltimore to have fun with you last night because that was really, we're in the entertainment business. And this is what spread swing is about. You took Detroit. Of course I have to take Baltimore, whether I believe it or not. Yes, I did.
That's like
for the bit. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had as much fun with that 8-minute montage you just ran.
Every time I take the lines, you don't always pick against
I do not. No, yeah. I do not. But last night I wanted to because it was
So the pick you got really right was just your football take, but the one you got wrong, you were doing for the bet.
I was. 100%.
That's what we're going with? So you didn't think Baltimore would win that game?
I thought they'd win the game. Well, I did think they'd win the game. Yeah, I did. I thought they'd win the game.
So did everybody else.
Everybody else
except for
on
those
the panel.
Of us that believe.
Well, you're a fan. That's okay to admit. If you admit that, you're a fan. Like everybody else is a fan of a team. But the problem is you profess yourself to be this esoteric, midday host of a football show, and I don't really get involved.
I don't anyway. I asked Deuce. We enjoy the losing as much.
Well, I know you have, but when it comes down to it, you should take a lot of pride. Lion pride. You should take a lot of pride in it.
Talk to Deuce, and all I could talk about is how much fun it was going to be doing the montage to get you guys. Like, here's somebody says, the Vikings just beat the Bengals by the points the Lions scored. Enough Lions radio. They don't understand. The reason we're doing is to get Rosie going. Get Rosie going. get Rosie going.
It was a little excessive.
It's not Lions radio.
No.
What it is we're trying to get you.
Well, if people have listened to this show, they have to understand this has been one of the greatest ongoing bits we have. And it's just the same as people argue in bars or whatever, or their fantasy football, whatever it is. It's smack talking, and it's fine. And you deserve to crow today. That was one hell of a performance last night by Danny Campbell. It was a lot of fun. It kind of lived up to the expectation, except that I thought, again, Derrick Henry's fumble killed him. The Ravens getting down to the first and goal in the 1, and they went backwards. I don't know what that was all about, but it was kind of as advertised. It was a high-scoring, fun game to watch, and Detroit deserved to win.
Tenneby and I talked about this earlier. It comes part and parcel with all sports, particularly the NFL, because it's just one game a week.
Yep.
Think of the overreactions to each team in the NFC North. When Detroit got completely neutered by Green Bay in Week 1, it was like, well, the Lions are terrible.
I know.
They're going to miss Ben Johnson, and they're going to miss Aaron Glenn, and they got Ragnow retired. They're just not going to be they're not going to be any good. Right. And boy, look at Green Bay. They're
on the way to the Super Bowl.
And then they win their second game and they're the number 1 team in the power rankings because they beat a highly regarded Washington team that was in postseason play last year. Minnesota, they have the comeback against Chicago, but still people are wondering.
One good quarter.
And then they just get crushed by the Falcons, and people are going, well,
could score a touchdown at home.
Yeah, and people are thinking, well, this is going to be a long season. Then all of a sudden, the next week, they crush Cincinnati. Everybody's back. Chicago loses their first 2. They have almost a nearly perfect game against Dallas. And so from week to week, it changes. But what we had thought, at least what I had thought going into the season on paper, looked like it might be the most competitive division and one of the better divisions in football. 3 weeks in, it sort of seems that way. All 3 teams are playing good football right now.
It was last year, and it looks like it's going to be a repeat of that again this year. Yes, I mean, that makes for a very fun fall and winter when you have going head-to-head, because the Vikings don't play these teams for quite a while. I'm talking about the Lions or the Packers in particular. Yeah, it's fun. It absolutely is. And that's why the National Football League is so unpredictable every single week.
We'll take a break, come back. We'll get Rosie's thoughts on the Vikings' victory, a complete and total annihilation of the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll do that on the side of the break. The Common Man program here on The Fan.
Wild Wednesdays are back starting tomorrow. All day tomorrow. Send us your best Let's Go Wild chance using the TalkBack feature on the iHeartRadio app for your chance to win tickets to Thursday's Wild versus Stars game. Winners will be selected all day. Get the full details today at KFAN.com. Keyword contest.
Well, that sounds like fun. We're looking forward to that. KFAN TalkBack. You find it on the iHeartRadio app. Download it. Search stations. Find The Fan. And then you'll find that talkback mechanism. It's a microphone icon. You'll find it in the corner of the screen. You tap it 30 seconds or less to deliver us a message. I'm Comedies Tenneby, the legendary Mark Rosen here. My favorite part of the montage was you hadn't put your headset on yet, and so I cranked up the speaker in here so that you could hear the lines montage.
I always love that one.
So good.
It is. It's priceless.
It's so much fun.
I know.
Your Viking club totally dismantles the Bengals, and it was interesting. It's 17-3. Late in the first half, Bengals are finally putting together a real drive, and you're thinking, boy, they score here, make it 17-10. It could be an interesting second half. Lo and behold, you have the scoop and score. It goes to 24-3, and then within less than 2 minutes, another tutty, a 62-yard franchise record field goal. It's 34-3 laugher. We saw the Vikings come back from 33 down to the Colts. You knew that wasn't going to happen on Sunday, and what looked like a battle of the backups, maybe a very competitive football game that might go down to the fourth quarter, was just a complete domination by the Purple.
Yeah, and it started with their opening drive. I think the crowd at U.S. Bank was, I think I brought it up, the fact I think that the fans were going to be a little, teeth chattering going into the game after watching the Vikings unable to score a touchdown against Atlanta, at home the week before. And then, now they got Carson Wentz. We really don't know what he's got, but obviously, when the announcement was made officially that Darisaw was back and Van Ginkel was back, and they got some bodies back. And obviously the addition of Darisaw was huge, to say the least, literally and figuratively. And for them to get the ball and go down and score right away, I mean, you could almost feel the whole team and the stadium exhale because it's like, okay, we got the lead. That's something we just haven't been able to do in the first two games until late, obviously against the Bears and then never against Atlanta. And then we saw it unfold the rest of it. Isaiah Rodgers had half of a life for a career in that first half, and the Bengals weren't going to be able to come back, and they didn't have a running game, and these things can get out of hand in a hurry, and it just rarely happens for the Vikings that you're checking other scores or your fantasy football team in the second half. So I think that the discussion, which will continue the next 2 weeks in particular, when they play the Steelers and the Browns in Dublin and then London. Wentz didn't have to be great. He didn't have to really do a lot. They had a huge lead by the time. Yeah, but you could see. I think everybody could see he's got a much quick release. I mean, he didn't have any rust in terms of a lot of that stuff. You like this Wentz guy, don't you? I like him. I mean, I think they found the right backup. They got rid of the other one. Howell, whatever his name was, we never. But I don't know if Howell would have been bad or not. I don't either. He may have been. He's had some experience. You got to remember, nobody wanted Carson Wentz. Nobody. No, and that's the discussion point that's going to continue because these are the three games where J.J. McCarthy really needed to get those reps and to get time on the field. Because of course he would have been the caretaker as much as anyone else on Sunday, and get some reps in there to play. I mean, Max Brosmer got in there for crying out loud in the fourth quarter. He looked sharp. He looked sharp. He didn't have to do much. But my point is that game, this game against Pittsburgh, and then the following game against Cleveland, as we saw, the Browns' defense is still very formidable. Those are the three games in particular, I think, that J.J. McCarthy, I'm not suggesting you don't put him back in against the Eagles when he comes back home, but that's a whole different level of competition when you're playing the Super Bowl champs with that team. To have him return and playing for the first time in how many weeks? If Wentz is solid and they go to 4-1, and McCarthy's healthy for the Philly game, do you play him or do you stick with Wentz? I was under the impression, and my first instinct was you got to get JJ back in there because that's the starting quarterback. I don't know if he's going to. Wentz can make this a lot more difficult for KOC. Playing even, they're not going to have blowouts like this, I'm sure, the next couple of weeks, but. To have, winning football, putting together a drive at the end of the half, end of the game, whatever it might be, making it difficult for him and relying on that experience that he has. Here's the question. But I think they really want JJ back in there. Here's the question. Yeah, because otherwise. If you're the coach of the Vikings and Wentz, they win the next two games across the pond, have a bye week, and Wentz is, I'm not saying he's NFC Offensive Player of the Week, but he plays well. He doesn't make any major mistakes, throws a couple touches, plays like he did this past week, and they win games. And McCarthy's ready against Philadelphia. If you're the coach, do you go back to McCarthy, or do you play Wentz? What would you do? Yeah, I think they're probably still going to go to McCarthy. What would you I would put McCarthy in. You would, okay. And I'm saying grudgingly, but because it gets back to that discussion about their philosophy going into this season. They said no to A-Raj. They said no to maybe Sam Darnold, who's having a terrific start of his season. Right. Danny Jones is having an incredible start to his season in Indy. Those guys were both property of the Vikings, not A-Raj. But I'm just saying that from a GM standpoint, from the coaching standpoint. So you think the Vikings will also go back? You think the scenario I painted? Do you think they'll go back to? You think they go back to McCarthy? I think they will, but I can understand how it's going to be. That you have to hedge your bets because. And you've brought this up, when you look around the locker room and you got the Hargraves and the Allens, you got, Harrison Smiths of the world are going, hey, I'm glad this kid's going to be this future quarterback, but, this might be my last year. Yeah. And this might be your last shot at getting to the big game with this team that we have right now. That I'm on. So, I'm not interested in watching, Walker Jenkins get more at bats for the Minnesota Twins next year as opposed to signing a top free agent. Right. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's an easy decision. Especially that's why I thought these games were so important. If JJ had been able to play against obviously Cincinnati and Pittsburgh and Cleveland, then you can just continue to say, okay, now we're going to really ratchet up the kind of competition because they got Philly, they got Baltimore, they got Detroit, obviously 2 against Detroit. The rest of the schedule. Now it makes it, because of when the injury occurred, it makes the decision, I think, a lot tougher for KOC based on if this team continues to play well and Carson Wentz happens to be the quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know what the answer is. I mean,
I'm a guy that plays Wentz if he plays fine.
Yeah, I understand.
I just roll with
Got
it.
the hot hand.
Yeah, again, if Wentz struggles, you can go back to McCarthy. The danger is if you bring McCarthy in against Philadelphia, let's say he's awful again, he loses the game, you go, well, we just lost a chance to win, and now what do we do? He was bad. Then if he's bad again, then you go, oh, maybe we should have stuck with Wentz. There's a very good chance, I guess, McCarthy could be really good when he comes back from his injury,
But it's a big setback again, considering he missed all of last year. That's the thing. You didn't get any of that time. I'm just looking at the schedule because they got the Eagles and they play the Chargers on the road that Thursday night. So you go from Sunday here against Philly.
They might be the best team in the AFC. They're one of the best, for sure.
So how do you, and then you come back and play. Then you go to Detroit. So those are the next three games.
Then you go to the litter box in Pontiac.
So if you're KOC and you got that decision to make with your young quarterback, and you go, okay, we're going to bring him back, and he has to face the Eagles, the Chargers, and the Lions, and then the Rams. The Ravens. Those are the next 4 games. Is that what you want? I mean, is that the optimum opportunity to win those football games? I don't have the answer to that, but it makes it a lot more tougher if Wentz plays well the next couple of weeks.
And then Wentz has the revenge game
Eagles
against the Eagles.
Yeah.
Revenge game.
Damn, Nick Foles took my Super Bowl away.
We call that revenge.
Yeah.
We'll break.
It's a dilemma.
Another segment to go. It's been fast-paced, action-packed, and controversial as always. Back with Common Tenenby and Rosie after this here on The Fan.
Comedian Kelsey Cook is bringing a night of laughs to the Fitzgerald Theater October 4th. Catch one of 2 shows, including a special taping. Tickets are available now. Get the full details at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Now you're ripping PJ Fleck.
I think it's funny. It's just, I like a lot of things he says. And when he talked about the bye, I'll leave the punchline off of the end, but when he goes, we use the bye week perfectly, whether it's fundamentals, details, techniques, reflection, self-scouting, and working Minnesota on Minnesota. Oh, that's great. Coach speak, whatever you want to say. The players did it. But starting the sentence with, we were 1-0 in the bye week.
Well, he felt like that was a win.
Come on. BJ, I love you, but come on, man. Come on.
He feels that was a win. What's wrong with that?
It's a running joke all the time. When you look at this advanced schedule for something, you go, well, so-and-so can't lose next week because they don't play. Not fill in the blanks, whatever team it would be.
It's never good enough for you.
No, it's not.
You're getting ripped,
funny.
By the way.
For what?
Sounds like Rosen's more concerned with seeing a cute little Wentz versus his old team storyline than developing J.J. McCarthy, who he was declaring our franchise quarterback savior after week 1.
I'm
seriously, Mark?
I said, you just, wait a minute. Excuse me, emailer. Common asked me who I would put in the game. Who I would put in. My answer was J.J. McCarthy. But I'm saying that Carson Wentz can make it a difficult decision for KOC. And then you go, that's why I'm saying these games were so vital. Were you listening to what I was saying? These games were so vital.
I was just waiting for my turn.
No, but I'm addressing not you. I'm addressing the emailer. When I said that's why these games were so vital for JJ's development, because you have an opportunity, not starting with Cincinnati and then the Pittsburgh, and there are no gimmies. We saw that with the Packers losing to the Browns, and their defense is legit. But it would have been JJ's opportunity.
41 up on the Browns, didn't they?
They did, but overall they're pretty
maybe
good.
It just means Green Bay's offense isn't very good.
But you bring JJ back.
Means Daniel Jones had the quarterback whisperer last year to learn from. That's what that means.
That's. I was just talking to Common about that. That's the guy I hated to see go. Was Daniel
I don't remember
Jones.
you saying you wish Danny Jones was.
Well, we never really had that discussion. I wasn't like pounding my chest about it because he never really had a chance. He was on the sidelines a couple times, but. I know Kyle Rudolph was gushing about the guy. I mean, and I was just saying Kyle's got the answer to everything, but as a former teammate, he's a prototypical type of quarterback when he's 6'5", whatever he is. He's got a gun for an arm, and And now he's learning, and now he's with a really good team. Now, granted, they haven't played anybody yet. I think they play the Rams this week. I think that's right. But, yeah, I mean, obviously the Giants have already made their quarterback change. They said bye-bye to Russell Wilson, and that's the end of his, for now, it's the end of his reign.
Rookie QB struggle. Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, etc. struggle. There's no easy games in the NFL. Every game McCarthy doesn't start is delaying to find out if he's the QB of the future.
I agree.
We already learned last year sitting out all season, time to play.
That's what I was discussing.
Okay, well, if it's that easy, then I guess he plays. But if Carson Wentz wins the next 2 games, they go to 4-1. And then all of a sudden, McCarthy comes in and let's say he struggles mightily and they lose the next 4. Is that still the right decision to make?
Yeah. Well, I
don't agree with the emailer.
But that's, again, it's not to suggest that Carson Wentz is going to fare any better as the quarterback. I mean, the biggest reason why J.J. McCarthy would have success coming back is, number one, he'd have 2 players in particular that he didn't have on his offense when he was playing, and that's Christian Darrisaw and Jordan Addison. I mean, and that makes a huge difference. And getting Ryan Kelly back at center this week is only going to help Carson Wentz even more. I mean, I think Wentz will have a bigger game. I can't imagine them losing to the Steelers this week.
Brad Johnson got injured and Cunningham took over. The coach said no one will lose their job to injury, and yet when Johnson was healthy again, Cunningham kept the job. McCarthy will have plenty of time to make his mark on this team and in this league. But if Wentz continues to play well, KOC takes a chance of losing the locker room, switching away from the hot hand, which is what we brought up as well. Therein
lies the dilemma. I mean, Carson Wentz would love nothing better than make this a really tough decision for KOC. And no matter what you say, I mean, it doesn't mean Carson Wentz is going to tear it up against the Eagles, the Chargers, and the Lions.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, it's more about, again, having they can stay healthy, but in particular, it starts with Darrisaw. You know, we saw how important that left tackle position is, and McCarthy was under pressure, a lot of pressure. I mean, Wentz got sacked, a few times the other day, but he knows when to hold on to the ball. But there's definitely a difference in terms of him getting the ball out of his hand the other day. And he didn't have to do much, as we know. We talked about it. The defense kind of took care of the game by halftime.
Your guy, Royce Lewis, has said in a post-game interview 2 games ago, he said, I'm just kind of enjoying all the moments because you never know if it's your last at-bat with this team or not. And then they asked him right away, well, what do you think you're going to be traded? He said, you never know. This team has traded players before. I think when Tenebee and I talked about it, I think Tenebee said he doesn't think the Twins are done, eliminating players from the club. I tend to agree. I mean, I don't know what they've not showed any signs of thinking we're just going to try to contend next year. It's almost like when you trade your closer, a couple of other key relief pitchers. In Correa I don't mind that because it was money, but it's still if you're thinking of really like, well, no, we're just running in place here until the start of next year. I think there's a good possibility we could see Lopez, Joe Ryan, Lewis. I mean, maybe not. What do you think? Do you think there's that possibility?
Well, I wouldn't rule anything out after what we saw. I mean, they're not going to be able to fix this bullpen in one off season. There's no way in hell. No, they're not. They're not, and that's just it. And they just had their low attendance in 25 years. I don't know. It's
the lowest they've had ever at Target Field.
Yeah, at Target Field, and
since the COVID.
I think I said something just offhand and during commercial break that what the Twins have done compared to where we were 2 years ago when they had the playoff series. They won that first playoff series after 0-18. We all know. I mean, it's taken away my. And maybe I'll jump on board again. My thirst for even paying attention to the playoffs. I mean, I literally have to look at the standings right now to go, wonder who's going to be in the postseason. Oh, yeah, Detroit. I mean, I realize the standings. Cleveland's 1 game behind Detroit right now. And that's, they're going to be in. I think it's a wild card. But, and then the National League with Milwaukee having that great season and Philadelphia's having a great season. Obviously, the Dodgers are there. And I'm sure I'll get into it. But the Twins have they just ruined baseball for me.
I'm a baseball guy. I love the story where Detroit is collapsing in Cleveland. It's reminiscent of when the Giants beat the Dodgers back in 50.
Well,
what year was that when they came back and they were 13.5 down by the
I know what season you're talking about.
And then, of course, the Cubs collapsed against the Miracle Mets in 69. Detroit's doing that right now. They're at a tailspin.
Well, they have
the Guardians.
Yes.
I mean, those two teams right now are playing a 3-game series here.
Correct.
And it starts tonight.
Yeah, Scooble starts for Detroit tonight. Yep.
To me, the most interesting sporting event of the next 3 days.
Yeah, I agree.
Games right there.
By the way, MLB did authorize the automated ball strike challenge system for the entire season of next year. Each team gets 2 challenges. Keep them if they're successful. The only challenges can be initiated by a pitcher, catcher, or batter, and the request must come right away after the pitch. In other words, Rocco Baldelli can't signal for it. They have to tap their hat or helmet and let the umpire know, I want to challenge that. So there you go. For the first time, they're going to have cameras set up around the perimeter of the field to track the location of every pitch, and a graphic on the scoreboard shows the results of the challenge. So we are at that point. Yep, it's here next year.
Did I see the New York Liberty fired their head coach
How
today?
about that?
But tough crowd. You win the World Championship the year before, and you don't
injury issues all year.
Yeah, and then you're out.
And they post on there. I saw it flipping through social media. Whatever her name is. I don't even know her name. Coach so and so. Thank you for. Thank you. You just fired her.
They do that for every sports team does it. Drives me crazy. They all thank the player they just let go of. And then
she didn't leave on her own.
My favorite is when they do like welcome back videos for players that are just super insignificant, like Connor Dewar, 4th line forward. Let's welcome him back to Minnesota.
That's true. Well, the people in those jobs have a job to do, I guess. But thanking the coach you just fired who won a championship for you last year?
Do you think if the Lynx get upset here in this second round, the semifinals, they'll fire Cheryl Reed?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. And I don't think they
She's got a lifetime contract.
I think she's kind of got that wrapped up, yeah.
Is it game 2 tonight?
Yeah,
6:30.
6:30, yeah. That's a good team. It's a good Phoenix team. They were down by 7 at the half the other day, and they were playing Phoenix basketball.
And they don't quit.
No, they don't. They're a well-rounded team. They're missing. Carrington is out, unfortunately, that foot injury from Minnesota. But it's best of 5. They'll go back to Phoenix no matter what on Friday night for Game 3, and then if necessary, they'll play again on Sunday. And then
did the Aces lose?
They lost first game.
The first game.
Yeah. So. So yeah, I'm sure they'll have a big crowd tonight at Target Center, and
will you be there?
I will not.
Oh.
No, I have. I got lots going on, man.
Yeah, of course you do.
I do. I mean, I know. I'm saying Karn's leaving for Dublin tomorrow, and I got
Kowalski.
I got eye surgery tomorrow. I got a lot of stuff going on.
You got eye surgery, so you're out tomorrow, right?
I'm out just tomorrow, but I'm toughing it out, so I'll be back on Thursday. I wouldn't miss spread spring. They'd have to drag me out of the hospital. They have to chain me to my hospital.
You're like Donovan Jackson.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you,
I'm just hoping that eye surgery will give you a better view of sports because you've really struggled here lately.
Well, I have rose-colored glasses on.
Yeah, well,
that doesn't help.
Sure. So good luck on that. And it's cataract surgery, right?
Yeah, it's...
Because you know what I learned? I didn't know this until a year or two ago, that I had the eye person tell me every person in the world is eventually going to have to undergo cataract surgery. You just do because you get them when your eyes get old.
Get a little cloudy.
You get a little cloudy and you got to do it.
It's like having, and I don't feel it during the day at all. It doesn't hurt in anything. So, but I've talked to probably a dozen people who've had it already, even younger than me, and had it. And everyone says the same thing. Oh, you're going to be so happy when you get this done. I hope I'll be. So one eye tomorrow, one eye next week, and then, But that's why I schedule it. You always think I schedule my knee surgery during the state fair or whatever it is.
You could have scheduled a 4:00 surgery or a 9 a.m.
No, I can't because I can't drive myself to the facility. So Karen has to take me in, and she's flying to Dublin tomorrow night. So I couldn't do it that time because she's got to be at the airport. Yeah.
What was I going to say? So are the Wolves in camp now?
Not yet.
When is that now? Is that
pretty quick?
It's next.
I don't know for sure, but I think it's probably. They're getting. It's ratcheting up all the NBA talk, but
you like this club going into the season?
Well, yes. How can you not? I think they. It's like they should be one of the top 3 teams. It's Houston already suffered a big loss.
Van Vliet's out.
Yeah.
Vliet.
God, that stuff is just so frustrating. He had tore his ACL. I think
didn't he just sign a massive 2-year deal?
Yes. So that's a big loss for a team that's supposed to compete, for potentially go Western Conference Final type thing. But yeah, I mean, how can you not be? I mean, we've heard all these stories about what Ant is doing that his improvement and working on his game and adding this and adding that.
What's he adding? Do we know?
A mid-range jumper. I don't know. Probably as much as anything. And, what is he, 23? He's still only 23, 24 years old. Gobert looks like, he's Hercules right now. His build, that doesn't mean anything when you're playing the game.
We'll see.
But I think a lot of it is.
And then we got the other Frenchman.
Yeah, how much he's going to play, who knows? But some of the youngsters that have to, just step up and play a little bit better this year and get more playing time. And I think Finch is going to extend his bench a little bit. But yeah, I mean, that'll be here. I don't think they start till the end of October, pretty much middle of 20th, something like that. But yeah, I mean, we're all kind of locked into what the Vikings are doing, and hopefully what the Lynx will do.
In the Wild,
they're starting pretty quick.
They start the regular season within a week or so, don't they tend to be?
No, I think we're still like 2 weeks away. But they've already played a preseason game on Sunday.
How'd they do in that one?
They came back. They were down 2-0 at Winnipeg and came back and won in overtime.
There you go.
So they actually play overtime in preseason. I didn't know that. Because like in baseball, after 9 innings, they just go in the exhibition. Let's just call it a
Is
day.
Kaprizov going to play in the preseason?
I would assume so.
I don't know.
I don't think hockey's not like football where you just sit out your stars all preseason.
Don't they play again?
They play again tonight, I believe.
Yeah, I saw the roster, and I know it's not a home game, is it? They're at Dallas.
No.
And he did not make the trip, is what I'm saying.
No, they're playing all their scrubs.
Yeah.
And they basically played all their scrubs against Winnipeg.
They come back and play Dallas here on Thursday, and then Chicago.
Usually
on
those
Sunday.
types of players, they like to play at home.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They want to draw a crowd.
My question, they're not going to worry about him. He's under contract, so it's not like,
that's his own risk at this point.
It absolutely is. That's exactly the point everyone's making, is that, just talked about
he ain't going to be going out there at 100%. I mean, he's going to be
kind of.
Yeah, they play, but they don't play. They're not going in full speed trying to make a battle in the corner. I
understand that, but still, you're out there on the ice, and you never know. Some rookie's trying to make the team, takes a run at Kaprizov, and he hits him in the knee. You never know. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
There's risk.
There's always a risk involved.
Who do you like in the Ryder Cup? Europeans or the United States?
I was just telling Ten, I didn't even realize what was going on this weekend. They're playing at Bethpage, right? So
Bethpage Black.
I don't know. Europe won last time going away. I mean, home course advantage. Do you believe in that?
Well, I saw some note where the United States doesn't lose very often when it's in the United States. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, and maybe I read it wrong, but I thought it was But again, whether that's like at Hazeltine, for instance,
right.
Everybody knows the United States gets to call course conditions the way it goes. So they had they didn't want thick rough. Europeans were hoping for thick rough. The United States wanted to bomb and gouge, so they had so I don't know. Bethpage Black is difficult, and it's a public golf course, as you know. I mean, it's
sure is.
There's a sign, before you tee off, and I remember exactly what it says, but they show it all the time. Anytime they do a PGA event there, where it says it's something like play at your own risk. If you go back there, you better be really good because you've got no chance. It doesn't say it that way, but that's what it's saying. It's made for highly skilled golfers. So it's a really tough golf course.
Yeah. I mean, the matchups will be interesting when they get to the singles competition. If DeChambeau faces McIlroy or something, that would be great. I mean, and again, because the Vikings play early on Sunday morning, it gives you a chance, even the hardcore NFL fan, if you want to watch some golf, and hopefully it's a close competition at that point, to see what could be some really riveting matches. I hope they are. I saw something. I hope this is true, that all the U.S. players are donating their winnings to charity.
Good for them.
Yeah, absolutely, good for them. It's right. I don't know what designated charity they picked, if there's a couple of them, but I did see that earlier today. So.
Yeah, my guess it would be. I don't know, but I would think it would be each individual player's
choice. Yeah, it might be. Maybe
of who they want to.
Yep. So yeah, that's this weekend too. So
yeah.
Lots going on.
Vikings, Steelers.
Yes.
And again, the Steelers are 2-1. I don't know what to make. I mean, I watched their opener pretty intense. Was the opener the Jets or was that week 2?
I don't
remember
even know.
The Steelers?
Yeah.
They played the Jets first game.
First game.
Yeah.
And I watched almost that entire game. That was on as along with the Vikings game. I think it was Vikings we were watching too. And, A-Rod looks okay. And then Pittsburgh, I don't know. I mean, I would think it's a pick'em game. I really would, because as impressive as the Vikings were, the Bengals were pretty injury riddled as well. So
they just got out of hand in a hurry.
Yeah, and it got out of hand like that.
Pittsburgh can't. They usually had a good running. The running attack is atrocious right now. I mean, it's early, and Rodgers is good at probably throwing those little lollipop passes, whatever you want to call them. But I don't know. I think getting Jordan Addison back potentially could be a problem for Pittsburgh as well, and obviously Darrisaw. The Vikings have never lost in Europe, and they don't have the home field advantage, you want to call it that, but they're not playing in Pittsburgh, which would be a big advantage for the Steelers, but it's more of a neutral crowd. I mean, I'm sure there'll be probably equal parts Steelers and Viking fans there, are pretty close to it. So, early in the morning, 8:30, got a pregame show at 7, so I better make sure I set the alarm.
Someone just text messaged me and said, Europe not accepting pay. U.S. is only donating 200 of their 500,000.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I saw something about charity. Europe's what? They're not?
I guess Europe's saying we don't want the money. If this is accurate, this is Love the Grum Gal, and she's a good source.
Yeah, she is.
I don't know.
That would make sense, because the U.S., they had the issue last Ryder Cup with Cantlay refusing to wear the team hat.
Oh, I
remember that controversy?
Oh, yeah.
Do you get excited about it? Do you like watching it? Doesn't do a lot for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I mean, I think the casual golf fan and the rabid golf fan, they like Ryder Cup better than any other event. And,
well, they get all get wound up. You can cheer and all that stuff you don't see in a normal.
I like the major, especially Augusta. I like the individual nature of the game of golf, but that's okay too.
You got a good stretch of weather to keep playing.
In this case, it's not about me. It's about you, Mark Rosen. You'll be back on Thursday.
I'll be back on Thursday.
You're out tomorrow.
I'll be out tomorrow. I'll be back Thursday.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to it. Thanks for coming in.
Got it.
Tenby, thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. We enjoyed our visit with you today. We truly did. We will be back again tomorrow at 12 noon. Rock Talk, 12:30 with Brian Oak, and then maybe a surprise or two. No, there's no surprises up our sleeve. We'll talk to you tomorrow, but stick around. Big Tick and JG, they're next right here on the Fan.
Good night. Good morning. Good afternoon. And good night, Minnesota. And good night, folks. And good night, Mrs. Calabash. Wherever you are.
I'm a fraud.
Yes.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.